Chris Lovell here with another edition of Patriot Talk. Joe Sexton here with me as always, and Colton Coons behind the camera. It's always good when we have just like we start the show right on time, like it's supposed to be started.
Bam, I like it.
Very professional. Yeah, that's right. Coach.
Very punctual.
Sure, that's right. And in fact, at the end of the show, I want to ask you some things.
I might have something to ask you this time.
Okay.
Maybe.
But one of them could involve punctuality and tardiness and all those things. So.
Sure.
Okay, so a Friday night in Idalou. It went well most of the night, just not
all but 6 minutes and 38 seconds.
Just not the ending.
Right.
Let's talk about how you get to that point first. I thought you established the run, you ran the ball. It's pretty clear that's you guys' identity right now.
Right.
Let's see. So I'm making sure here at 274 rushing. Is that about right?
Yes. And then
about 5 yards a carry.
Talon had about 167 of that.
Yeah, Chadwick had about 60 of it. You had Colton Bouchard had about 55 or 60 of it. I mean, so pretty clear what you want to do, and you'd kind of work the clock, and you just kind of mashed them a little bit and settled in and behind your offensive line. But so let's talk about that part. Kind of probably hit the ground running and play the game you on your terms for most of the night.
You know, that's if I had to script a Barry Newton game plan, that's kind of what I would expect.
Barry Newton, the offensive coordinator.
He's going to control your clock and try to keep the ball away from you. And, we did that for the most part. I'm not real certain what the time of possession was, but I'm fairly certain it's probably in our favor. Like I said, we played, almost a really, really good game if it wasn't for the last 6 minutes, 38 seconds. That number is going to be ingrained in my brain for a little while. I just happened to look up at the clock at one point, and it was like 6:38. And I look again, it's still 6:38, and it wouldn't move. But, we did so many good things, and we were, again, so stinking close to getting over that hump and, getting a win. And, it's just those little bitty things that start piling up, and they all piled up in that last little bit, and we just came up a little short.
Yeah, and if you could go buy the learn how to win medicine at the store, you'd have bought a bottle for everybody, and it's a bottle full of those little things. And sometimes it's not fun to say it, but sometimes you have to, like, the learn how to win medicine comes after some tough losses. Well, and like learning, okay, this is what we did last time. It wasn't good enough, so now we need to.
Well, just looking at the kids after the game, they were gutted. And
oh, sure,
the coaches, everybody. It's a gut punch that you don't ever want to experience again. And I was talking this morning, and it's a situation where the next morning, kids were good. Coaches are still stinging a little bit. It always works like that. Kids are resilient. Coaches.
What's next?
Kind of took a little bit for us to get through Saturday, and Coach Tolliver and I were doing doing laundry and watching film on Saturday morning, and it was tough to stomach some of that. So, but we're moving on and getting ready for Monahans.
Yeah, and you question everything that went on.
Oh, yeah.
And re-question it and go, what if? And you could kill
oh,
yourself
yeah.
doing that.
I was kicking myself for not going offense first in overtime. And if any football coach will tell you, always play defense first. And, you read the book that says play defense first. So, that was my first thought. And then I thought, man, we just got off a huge, defense was on the field for quite a bit, and
you were just thinking about trying to give your defense a rest.
Just trying to let them, catch a break for just a little bit, but I didn't do it. So that's one of the things that I second guessed myself and went ahead and did it anyway, and probably would have helped us. Maybe, Who knows?
You'll never know. Nash Gonzalez caught the ball, had about
Right.
5 catches. Lane Miller with a big fumble recovery that kind of turned the tide earlier in the game. We talked about him in the last show, but Asen Huffman, good on defense, but then he puts his soccer skills to use.
Right. He comes in and just walks in there and drills an extra point in a pretty
Crucial time.
time.
When you need it every single point. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he's. I think he's got some ice water in his vein just a little bit. I think he comes by that pretty natural.
Yeah, I would concur. Players of the week, Levi Patton won.
Yeah, Levi Patton was our special teams player of the week. Jackson Thomas was our defensive player of the week. And then Talon Wilcox was our offensive player of the week.
Yeah. Jackson Thomas, kind of a tackling machine. Speaking of
is.
ice water in his veins, comes by that.
And really
comes from good stock.
And really doesn't say a word about it. He just goes on about his business.
Say less. Always good advice for all of us. Act like you've been there before, all those good things. Okay, so, it equals 33-27 overtime loss. Patriots dropped to 0-2, but that first win is it's near. You can just sense it. You guys have been really close, both of these games. But now bus trip.
Yeah.
You guys are used to those. This one just happens to be a little bit longer than normal. You're going to go about
2.5.
About 175 miles south, give or take.
Right. Going to Monahans, it's not near as far as the Wall trip was last year.
Okay.
We went to Wall, and
which is right outside of San Angelo.
It was over a 3-hour trip, and so good there. Bus traffic and trips and all that stuff really doesn't bother me anymore. I have 100% confidence in our kids to get off the bus and be ready to play. Especially after our debacle there in Wall last year when we got caught in road construction and we got off the bus 15 minutes before the game and went out and won a game at Wall. So they just go play.
They are in, I believe, District 1 4A. They're also a Division 2 school like you guys are. But they're in a district, and I feel like your non-district schedule is pretty much this district.
Right. That's pretty much everybody.
Yeah, I mean, because Seminole.
You got Seminole, Greenwood.
Fort Stockton.
Yeah.
You're not playing Snyder.
Those were really, we tried to play Snyder. They wouldn't play us. But everybody in that district was just about the only people that we could find to play. Nobody else would really want to play us. And so I think at some point we could probably run into some of those guys down the road in the playoffs. And that's just how it is. I mean, when you're, again, trying to look for games, you can't be too particular about who you're playing.
Right.
So.
Yeah, even though you've got a trip to Monahans this week and Seminole next week, it's just some back-to-back road trips here.
Right.
But as you said, your kids are used to it, and you're not you aren't opposed to them anymore.
I really don't. I enjoy getting on the road. When I was working with Coach Cat, we didn't mind it. I like to drive and
windshield time.
I like it. That
what does because you actually will drive some of this. Yeah,
I'll probably drive down there and drive back.
Yeah, a bus. What does Joe think about when he's driving? Like, what's occupying your thoughts? Is it game plan? Is it personnel? Is it what do I got to do tomorrow or next week? Or what am I going to tell him before the game? And what's rolling around in there?
Well, there's not a lot of room in there, so I have plenty of space for that stuff. So, I think a lot of it is just making sure that we're there in plenty of time. I'm constantly checking time, going, okay, we're on time. 'Cause I hate to be rushed. I hate not Monahans, but the Wall trip. That just about did me in. I'm running out of the press box after setting up the cameras and we're kicking off, and it's just
frustrating.
Yeah, it's terrible for me to be rushed.
You don't like to be late.
No, I hate to be late, and I took responsibility for that. I should have checked, to see if that road was closed right there on 87, and I didn't. And
Why are you going to ever check to see if a road's
well,
closed? Yeah.
I knew that there was construction there, but I
Okay.
thought that we might be able to get on
I
through.
gotcha.
But it didn't work out. So, I think about, just are we on time? Are we going to get there in plenty of time to, get everything done we need to get done? So that's what most of my thoughts are. And then just game plan. I don't really have to worry about game plan as much because, Coach Tolliver and Coach Newton take care of all of that. I'm kind of going over some of our offensive stuff in my head, my rotation of the running backs, stuff like that.
Monahans 0-2 coming into the to this game. They lost to Shallowater 17-14, lost to Randall 43-14. But this is a team that I think has won 22 games in the last 2 years.
Oh, yeah. I mean you talk about tradition. They're one of the more successful teams around the area. I mean, they always play hard. I believe it won, I want to say 14, 15, 16, somewhere around in there. We played them down there, and there was no reason why it should have even been a ball game. We had by far the better team, but, we're behind. I think 14-0 at halftime, something crazy like that. And I think that might have been the one game that I've ever remember seeing Coach Cat get upset at halftime, just because we were just getting outplayed.
Out effort.
Yeah, it was all effort. I think we thought we were just going to stroll down there and take care of business, and because we had a really good team, and we just laid an egg in the first half. But it's because of their effort, how hard they play. That's.
Is this is a fair comparison here? Kind of how is Dumas?
Yeah, exactly the same.
Okay. Yeah, which you know what you're getting into there.
Sure.
Minus the crop, crop duster
and the Harleys.
and Harleys in Monahans. Coach Fred Stahl, he's been there since 2019. I think 2 years ago they started out 0-3 and then won 10 straight.
Oh yeah.
And he was coach of the year and all that. And then last year they won their district and went 12-1, had an all-state quarterback. This is going to be a spread offense.
Yes.
You see.
Yeah, a lot of doubles, a lot of trips, lots of quarterback run.
Okay, so they're trying to spread you out to run the ball.
Right. I believe we're probably going to see something similar to what we saw out of Idalou, as far as everything rolls through their quarterback.
Okay.
So he's
much like the first game too.
Yeah.
Then against New Home. Yeah.
Everything. It's a quarterback sweep. Quarterback counter.
And I think we have a situation where you have a like the first game, you had a brother connection there with the receiver and the quarterback, and I think this one you have a brother connection with the QB and a running back.
Right.
Yeah, Dylan Pittman will wear number 21. He's their quarterback. Cole Pittman, running back, wears number 4, who ran for well over 1,000 yards last year. So they returned 6 starters on defense. 6 starters on offense, 5 on defense. What do you? So what's the message been to your kids this week? Is it about? Do you talk about learning how to win? You just stay with your process and we got to be better at some of these things without really talking about the result of a game and knowing if you do these things you'll get the result that you want.
Well, we just talk about the small things.
Yeah.
You just got to, at the end of a game, you got to execute the play, one play at a time. Pre-game last week I talked about, how hard would you play if we're in a one-play game? So, all right, we score, we win, or we stop them, we win. One play. I mean, how would your focus be to play just one play? And, for pretty much the whole game, I was pretty pleased with our effort, and our focus was great. And then we just kind of lost a little bit of that. So our focus this week is just trying to stay focused on every play of every drive. Let's see how it works out.
Okay. So leaving school at what time on Friday?
We're gonna take off about 1:30.
Okay. Yeah.
We're gonna eat lunch, and then we'll go hand out uniforms, get packed, and make sure we got everything. And that's one of the things with not having an experienced varsity team that seems like we might forget something here and there. So I will make a pass through the locker room before we leave and see stuff and go, okay, we're gonna need this, or so far we hadn't lost or we're left without a helmet or shoulder pads or anything yet, but.
Let's hope that's not on the horizon.
No, so that's why, again, we're going to have plenty of time to do all that and make sure that we're not rushed. Because usually when you're rushed, you
make a mistake.
You forget your deodorant or something. Mm-hmm. You're trying to get out for a trip. So,
popcorn, the snack of the week here. Where are you at on that?
I love some good popcorn.
Okay. Doesn't it taste better at the movie theater?
Oh, well, of course it does.
Yeah. Are you sprinkle the powder on it, or do you just eat it just like that? Or are we doing a little butter?
Well, I like to put the powder on it while you're cooking it.
Oh, okay, got it. That beforehand.
So I really don't like a whole lot of salt.
Okay.
And so very little.
Yeah, because the powder, if you just hit it, it's just going to hit the right
Yeah,
top.
it just sits on top, and then you get nothing.
What about the butter?
It's not real good for you, Chris.
Neither is the popcorn at the movie theater. In fact, it's terrible. If you see the amount of oil they pour in that big giant box
and you're adding more with the butter. So
well, I know,
try to
but
stay
I mean
away
that's
from
a
it.
once
but
every.
If you're at the movie theater, you got
it's a once every 6 months. See, and we try to have a professional broadcast here. And we ask for all phones to be silenced.
It's just like at the movie theater.
And then, that's right. We break all the rules here. Break all the rules. What you have to do with the butter, though, is you have to put the straw.
I've seen people do that.
And then it gets the butter.
Gets down there at the bottom.
All right, we'll wrap it up with a few things here. We lost a real famous voice / actor this week, James Earl Jones. I know you're familiar. Yeah, he unfortunately passed away. Leads to my question. Better film. He was featured in both for different reasons. Sandlot or The Field of Dreams?
I'm a Sandlot guy.
Okay. Man, I can't get anybody to go Field of Dreams. They will come, Ray.
No, you can't beat the Sandlot.
Okay.
That's your, we had a little place where we went to play. And everybody did when you were.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because really we only got to play baseball during the summertime, back when it was the boys of summer. And
okay, Don Henley.
That was it.
Okay, 3 things. I was going to play 3 things with you. 3 things that frustrate you.
Okay.
I think we established one.
We know one.
And say one. Tardiness.
Exactly.
You and my man Chip Darden are exactly the same there. And I would say that I echo that sentiment. I try to teach my children being late is one of the worst qualities you can have in life. There's a lot of bad qualities, but being late is just because that's when.
Well, it's definitely controllable a lot of times.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a big one. I don't know. It's going to be hard to come up with these other 2 because that one is such a big deal for me.
Nothing else that triggers you?
Triggers me.
I mean, tardiness, there's nothing else that just...
Well, there is. There's one thing that
okay.
that might trigger me just a little bit.
And?
If you come in my office, you're going to see clutter just because my office is a storage area. It's
okay, I got you.
I would like to be able to declutter a little bit more. So
clutter is, I got you. I'm the same way, but again, things are, where they are. It's just you don't have a spot for them and all that stuff. Okay, you got anything else? Or are you just going to play 2 things?
I'm going to go 2.
Okay, I know that I never frustrate you, so I appreciate you not being included on your list. Okay,
not this time.
Also, last one. 3 foods that you just won't eat. That you just, it's disgusting. Like normal stuff. That you just like, I that's gross. I'm out. Or
sauerkraut's a big one.
Man, I concur.
Yeah.
I don't even know really what's going on there, but I don't want to be a part of it.
Not a sauerkraut. I don't eat cauliflower either.
I'm a consistency guy. I'm 2 for 2 with you here.
And
Yeah.
I can go broccoli.
It's a vile weed.
I can go broccoli just a little bit, but cauliflower is one that I just
I prefer
can't.
broccolini.
Sure.
Just a smaller
Yeah,
version.
I can do that.
Smaller version because it's like eating a tree. Although it's extremely healthy for you. It is.
And I usually have to cut the stems off pretty short.
Yeah.
Just to go with the top part.
Yeah.
This was a meal that my dad wanted all the time when I was a kid, is liver.
Oh, and onions. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that was, I don't think it's really a thing anymore, but that's probably one that I talk about consistency. That was
liver and
awful.
onions, yeah.
But
No,
I'll try to eat most other things. I've recently discovered that I really like Brussels sprouts, and because I really didn't like those, but if they're cooked the right way,
okay.
man, they're really
There's
good.
an interesting odor there. I can't get
Yeah.
past it. Yeah, it'll.
I mean, I'm not gonna just crave them or anything, but
Right. Man, you gave us 4 or 5 that you just won't eat. Now you're offering up some weird ones that are on the thumbs up list.
Yeah,
So
pretty
that's
close.
good stuff. The more we know from Joe Sexton. Yeah, there you go.
yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people
So
yearning for that knowledge.
hey man, we're just trying to crack the code, trying to figure out who Coach Sexton is. Anyway, okay, so that'll do it for this one. We'll talk to everybody next week. Break down what went on in Monahans on a Friday night. The game will be aired on 93.1 Yes FM. There is an app on. You can get 93.1 Yes FM. You can listen to this app on your phone or mobile device or whatever it is, whether you're at home or at the stadium or whatever you may be, as long as you have a cell signal. And obviously listen to it on the radio. And then the streaming information, Monahans will be streaming this game. We've pushed that out on various social media channels, on SportsU, on Twitter, and all the different things. So make sure you pay attention there if you can't get to Monahans with Coach Sexton and the boys. So there we
We're
go.
getting closer being in that stadium.
I know. Well, and as it gets closer, blood pressure goes up. It's going to be close, but yeah, it's no point of no return at this point. But yeah, we're all of our blood pressures getting higher.
Oh, not mine.
Speaking of things that frustrate you, I should add construction.
Oh no!
No, you. So you want more? You love construction? You
I
want more?
love construction.
Okay.
They're just putting in. I know this is totally off topic, but the guys that are putting in our grass in the south end zone, the landscape guys,
Yeah.
working machines.
Okay. And you like that?
Oh yeah, those
Yeah.
guys are
On it.
on.
Yeah,
it.
making it look real. Yeah, and it's going to be fabulous. But yeah, we're still a couple weeks away from that. When
It's kind of cool to get to see all the different groups of people that come in.
well, there's
and
it's
do
like
work.
teams.
Oh, yeah.
Little armies of they're in charge of this, they're in charge of that. So, but we can get as it gets closer, we can certainly talk about that because you've got more games. With District 1-4A coming up between now and then. So anyway, okay, that's going to do it for this one. We've taken up enough of your time. That's been another edition of Patriot Talk for Chris Lovell, for Colton Coons, and for the head coach of the Patriots, Joe Sexton. We will talk to you next time.